friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Debbie. Today's whip and chat is going to be partly a whip and chat and partly a music and chat. I wanted to try something different to see how that would go. And if you're not familiar what a whip and chat is, a whip and chat is a work in progress where I'm going to be working on one of my whips or my work in progress diamond paintings. And you can either pull out a whip or pull out something that you have just started, or if you want to just listen or clean house or whatever the case may be, feel free to do whatever you would like. Today I am using a pen from Enabler's Outpost. I just love this pen. I really don't have that many green pens, and so this was absolutely perfect. It also matches this canvas. The canvas is Titania and Oberon from Josephine Wall, and it's by Diamond Art Club. This one is very large. I will be done with it by the end of next week, and I've really enjoyed working on this, but I will be glad to be finished and then to start something else because this has been a long time coming in me finishing this. So my goal was to get it completed by the end of May, and that's definitely going to happen. I would actually have it completed by the end of this weekend, but I am not going to be in town. So I'm not taking this with me, and by the time I get home on the weekend, then it's going to be, too late to work on it, but I will definitely work on it next week. I'm also using a tray from Add More Zest with Rebecca. I already have my drills in there. I really like the way that this is shaped. It's different than what I am normally used to. In my multi-placer, I am using Randa's Crafty Putty. And this one, I'm not sure what this smell is. I did not look at it. I have several of hers. They all smell really good. So it doesn't really matter to me which one that I pick up. And if I'm not using it, I still have it open so that way I can smell this fragrance because I really like it. It's not overpowering. It is just right. And on my single placer, I am using a micro dot glue dot. And this one has lasted me over 3 days, which is very unusual. I have diamond painted quite a bit the past 3 days, and I am still going strong on this one. I can see that I'll need to replace it soon, but I think it will be okay until the end of this whip and chat. So how is everybody doing? I hope that you're doing well. I hope that the weather is starting to improve wherever you are. It is starting to get very hot here. It went from like in the 60s until the 90s today. So it's just been very crazy, hard to decide, what to wear, and it's starting to be summer here. So we went basically from winter to maybe a couple of days of spring, and then we went full on to summer. And sometimes that's how it is in the South. Unfortunately, I'm not crazy about that. I like spring. I would prefer to have, nicer temperatures than in the 90s because to me that is just very hot. But at least it's not raining, although we could use some rain here. I think it could possibly rain on Friday. Normally I do video my whip and chats on Friday and send them out on Saturday. A couple of weeks ago, I decided that I'm going to start having my whip and chats come out on Friday mornings instead of Saturdays. So that means that I have to record on Thursdays because I like to record a day in advance, if at all possible. That gives me time to be able to upload it, to make any changes that I want to. And it also just gives me the peace of mind that if I don't like something after I've put it away for a little while, I can go back and either redo the video or I can, cut some out. So that's been really nice. But with this week, today is actually Wednesday for me. When you see this, it will be Friday. I am going out of town tomorrow morning and will not be home until the weekend. So I did not want to have not to have anything for you to listen to while I was gone. I want to try to keep my schedule up on my videos, so I decided that I would go ahead and video today. And then also with my husband being home, he's taking off so he can watch our dogs and the cat while I'm gone. That way we don't have to put them in the kennel. Then I think that is, really, that works out too. But I wanted to go ahead and get this done before everybody got home. I could spend some time with my family before I leave and get whatever I needed done. So I'm hoping that this will work fine. I almost made a huge mess. The top part of this isn't as sticky, and that is my fault. I've taken the clear cover off because for some reason, some of the clear cover was sticking really hard on the canvas. And I think whenever I pulled it, I may have pulled some of the glue off. I've never had that problem before, but it could also be because of the heat, and this is in the basement. I've not had a summer in this house before. We moved in July last year, but I did not move my diamond paintings over until September. So that could, be the problem. I may have to check into that to move them. They're in an area of our basement now where it's cooler than where I originally had this. So I think that could be possibly an issue. But it's only this one little section. Everything else has been absolutely perfect. And also with this canvas, if you've never worked with Diamond Art Club, it is a pure joy to work on. Everything is just so wonderful, from the canvas, how soft that it is, to the drills, on how well that the drills are. Now these are the older drills. It's an older kit. The newer drills are absolutely perfect, especially with the squares. I have had some trash on this, but not very much. And that has been, super nice, of course. But with squares, sometimes you have to fight the squares, and these fit absolutely like a glove. If you see here, I'm putting these in between two rows of drills, and they just fit right in. It is a perfect fit. And it also helped with the straightening of the rows. I do use a straightener, but I have not straightened any of the rows on this side yet. But I really do like how they just fit right in place. Even though I feel like this has taken me a long time to complete, it really hasn't, considering how large that this is. And also, it's one of the largest canvases that I have done. I've finished, actually. So I'm excited about that as well. But I'm definitely going to be glad to move something on, because I'm starting to get a little bored with the colors. And that's nothing to do with the canvas itself. It's just I need a change. And I don't want to drop this one and start on something else, because I've done that too many times before and then I don't get back to it. Or if I do, it's going to be a very long time before I want to get back to it because I'm doing something else. So I'd rather just go ahead. I'm so close to finishing that now I am excited about getting it done and continuing to work on it. In other diamond painting news, I am still working on my Diana canvas, the large one from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and I will include on the eye at the top, I will include a link if you'd like to go and see that progress. I have not had an update in a couple of weeks because I really haven't had enough that I have done with it, because I've just decided to stick with this one. And I'm going to start working on that one next week and spending at least 10 to 12 hours a week on it until it's done, if not more. That is my definite plan. I want to get it finished. I've had it out just way too long. It's fun, but I would like to start on another new canvas from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and I'm certainly not going to have two of these out at the same time. that would just be crazy. Although I have been known to do some crazy things, I just don't think that that one would work very well for me to have both of those out. I have thought about, though, for next year, having 2 canvases, the same canvas from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and have 1 square and 1 round and both going at the same time, and then comparing on the square and the round. But that's definitely a lot of work, and it's a commitment. It's also not cheap because Diamond Painting Deutschland does cost quite a bit. But if you purchase more than 1 at a time, you're really saving in the long run if you plan on purchasing more from them, because their shipping is expensive. The last time that I paid for shipping, it was around $50 to the US, and so I'm sure now that it's even more than that. You know, I haven't really looked, but I'm sure that it's going to be more expensive when I get ready to purchase from them. But I just don't know if I want to commit to 2 of the same paintings. I'm not sure if I would get really bored with that, if I would just get frustrated with it. So I just don't know. But if any of you have done that before, or you're planning on doing it, I would love to hear how it turned out for you. Or if you're planning on doing it, you know, what's your process that you're planning on doing? I think that would be really helpful. And there again, that just slid right in there. So I am so excited about that. This is just getting gorgeous and more gorgeous every time that I see it. And it's really funny because I'll look at it, I won't notice something, and then I come back and I look at it again, and then I notice there's something else there. So you have to really pay attention to some of Josephine walls because they do tend to do that. And I will show you what this looks like, how far I've gotten once I am done today. I think that I will definitely have an update progress from where you have seen it the last time. That's the plan anyway. And I'm working on this upside down, so I'm having to think about some of the actual colors and the symbols of what it actually is if it were not upside down. And I'm also working at an angle, and there's a glare, so I have like a couple of double whammies going against me today. But it's definitely upside down for now. And sometimes that just can't be helped, especially on the larger ones. In order to get to areas that you need to work on, you have to have it in weird positions. So, what is everybody else working on, and what are you planning on doing for the weekend? I am going to be in a conference. Friday's conference is going to be all day. We have breakout sessions. We've already chosen what breakout sessions that we want. And I don't remember all the ones that I chose. It's been so long. But we're having on Thursday, and by the time that you see this, this has already happened, but I will discuss it next week. We are going to have a reception on Thursday night at the hotel where we're all staying from work. And we're going to meet other people from around the country that teach accounting, and it is for 2-year schools only. So if you teach at a 4-year school, it's not going to be something that they're going to want to do, but it is going to be for us. It's going to be very helpful because we get to meet people from all across the country that teach, and they only teach accounting. And I haven't gone to one of these conferences before, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Trying to make sure that's going the right way. Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to going. And there's some people that I've been talking to from other schools that have been online. And we've just been, talking through email and through text. And so I'm going to be able to meet them at this conference, and that's going to be fun as well. Especially, I've been talking to them for months now, and so we're actually going to be able to meet and get to know each other better, and it's best practices for accounting. And 2-year schools are quite different than 4-year. And so I'm really glad that we have our own conference where we are able to come together and to be able to help our students more. There's going to be vendors there and different people that we're going to be able to interact with, and different ones that we've actually have their textbooks, some of the publishers. So I will be really busy, especially with Friday. Friday's going to be a really long one. I'm spilling drills. And then Saturday, it's only half a day, and then I will be driving home. But it's like a 5-hour drive, so I'm not exactly looking forward to that by myself, but it will be fine. I'm not scared to drive by myself. It's just not as much fun, that long of a drive. But I will put an audiobook on, Bluetooth on my car, and then I will just drive there. And the hotel is supposed to be super nice. And then there's a couple of people from work that are going, so we'll get together and we'll sit together on some of the conferences, some of the sessions, breakout sessions that we're going to, and then we'll meet up for lunch, which is part of the conference, and then we will meet up somewhere for dinner. And where we're staying is in walking distance of the hotel. A lot of us are going to be going to dinner together on Friday. So I will be exhausted by the time that I get back home. And I doubt that I will be able to diamond paint when I get home this weekend. More than likely, that's not going to happen. There are so many color changes on this one that is in this one area. I need to work on the angle of this before next week because this is really difficult for me to see. I don't want my head to be on camera, of course. So I'm trying to work at a strange angle here. Next week, I need to kit up for DP with pets, and that is going to be hosted by Diamond Painting Anonymous, and that's Daphne. So if you're interested in that event that starts on June the 1st, then you can go to her channel, and she has a video on her actual event that she's doing, and it's going to be for new diamond painting only, to where you have to have a new start. You can't work on something that you have already started on. She is requiring a new start, but she's not requiring a full canvas. So you can also go with a partial. The canvas that I plan on doing is a full canvas, and it's another Diamond Art Club. So I need to get that kitted up next week and get that ready to go for August the 1st. So you will see that possibly. I haven't decided if I'm going to kit up on camera or if I'm just going to do it off camera and then show you what I'm planning on doing, show you my canvas. So I will decide that early next week when I get that far. Let's see. So that takes care of that one. There's also Summer with the Masters that's going on, and that is by Diamonds and Washi. I almost forgot there for a minute. Diamonds and Washi, and that's Katie. And then I believe that she is co-hosting with Tiny Worlds of Wonder, Jessica. And so that is a lot of fun. I did that last year as well. The canvas that I have that I planned on doing is another large one. It is going to be not as wide as the one I'm working on now, but it's going to be taller than the one that I'm working on. So I was really hoping not to have to do another large canvas, or not really not to have to, but not that I really have to, but I kind of wanted to do that one. And I'm going to start on it. It does not have to be finished for her event. So I will get started on it after my DP with pets. And then once that's done, I will start on Summer with the Masters. And what I don't get finished on that one by the end of July, I probably will put up until sometime this winter and then get back to it. It just depends. It's not one that I'm going to feel like I just need to get finished, although it may go faster and I may be able to get it finished, because just looking at it, there looks to be quite a bit of color blocking, which will definitely help me. So I may do, 1 or 2 small sections a day, and then just see how far that I can get until the end of July. But I'm not going to be rushing trying to get finished, because I also have another one that's starting in July, and I think another one that I was looking at in August. I'll have to take a look at the schedule again. There's so many that's coming up. I cannot remember the exact dates. I have them on my date planner, but I don't have my date planner with me right now. I don't want to get too far ahead of thinking about the events. The ones that I have decided I'm definitely going to do, I've already pulled my canvases out, and I've put the date on the canvas so I know exactly the ones I want to work on. But that could also change too, because if something else comes out, I receive it. If it works for an event, I may decide that I'd rather do that one instead of what I have designated. But I'm hoping to stick with the ones I've already decided on to get some of my older ones out of my stash. Do any of you plan to have any events, or do you plan on working on events? If any of you are hosting an event and it's not on the Excel schedule, I would love to hear about it, so please let me know. I'm mainly going by the Excel schedule because for some reason I don't always hear about what's going on until it's too late for me to join. I just feel like I don't have enough time if I hear later. So if you're hosting something that's not on that schedule, I would love to hear about it. I didn't do very many events last year, but events are helping me to stay focused and to work on more of a variety, because I sometimes get stuck in a rut and just keep doing the same ones. But I enjoy a variety. I'm just really bad about not changing. But I would love to know about those. Not much has been going on around here this week. Just trying to get ready for my trip, and it seems like every time that I go somewhere, or we go somewhere as a family, it takes forever to get ready for something, and it takes us forever to find things that we need, such as suitcases that we need, the size of the suitcase that we want. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy, and then we have to rush around trying to get things done. But this time it's not as bad, since it's just me. And my daughter's going to stay with her dad for a few days. She hasn't stayed with him in well over before the pandemic. So she's looking forward to that, to see her dad, spend some time with him. And he's moved, so she doesn't even know that much about this house. She's only been over to the house to just see what the house looked like, but she's never stayed or anything for very long. So it will be quite an adventure. So I'll have to tell you about that next week on my next WIP and Chat. And our birds did leave. I mentioned that last week, but they've been gone for over a week. If you're not familiar with that story, we had a robin that decided to make a nest on our front porch, and she had two. We think that she only had 2 eggs, but I could have sworn I saw 3 babies in there, but maybe not, because my husband said there was only 2 eggs, and then once she left, then we have seen 2 babies that are trying to come back. And it was well over a week, close to a week and a half since we had seen them. And so my husband went ahead and took this nest down because it was falling down. It was gross on the porch. And so he took it down. And then the other day, I saw 2 of the babies that were flying around, and they kept going around over into our porch. And so I think they were trying to find their nest. And so he felt, a little bad because he had gotten rid of the nest, but they had been gone. We thought that they weren't coming back, which is what happened to the last set of birds that we had that decided to make a nest in my ferns. So now these little birds keep coming up to the porch, and they're trying to, find a place, but they have built a nest that we have seen over close to our gazebo. So now we can't go into our gazebo, which is fine because we really don't use it that much anyway. But we did buy another bird feeder, and the food that my husband bought, the cardinals absolutely love this food. And we hadn't seen that many cardinals, but once he's gotten this food out, it's like they're coming from all over. They're telling all their little buddies that we have food, and we are going through the birdseed. But we went ahead and put more birdseed out there yesterday, and it's not as empty as it was within a day or 2 before. And we filled it up more, so hopefully they'll be able to have their food for a little while. If not, I can see how this is going to get expensive if we're going to have to keep filling up these bird feeders. And he wants to get another bird feeder that's a larger bird feeder and different type of seed. So we're probably going to have birds everywhere. And then he says that they won't build a nest close to the house anymore because he's fixing it to where there's no place they can really have a nest. But we'll see. I still think that they will be able to find a place for their nest since they're all so used to our house. And especially when food's right there for them. But other than that, we've been kind of quiet with the birds because we were having such an issue with how the birds were so noisy and they just would not leave us alone. We couldn't use our porch, couldn't use our house. So at least now we're able to use the front door because that was kind of strange. This is looking really good. I keep saying that, but it really is. If you've completed this kit, I would love to hear your comments as well. And unfortunately, with this kit, Diamond Art Club no longer is licensed for Josephine Wall. And so this one is not available, but there are other companies that are licensed for Josephine Wall canvases. One is Uniquely Yours Down Under, and theirs does take a long time to come in, but they are out of Australia. And I've ordered something almost 5 months ago, I think, and I still haven't gotten it, but I've gotten a shipping notification that it just shipped out. So once it ships out, it still takes over a week for me to get it. And I'm aware of that, so I order it in plenty of advance. I don't worry about it. That I'm not sure if they have this one, but they have quite a few of hers. And they've just added more not very long ago. And if you don't see the one that you want, you can always contact them because they have put some up in their storage. and they're going to bring those back out later because they can only have so many at one time out. And you can always ask, and they can tell you if they have that one or not. And it may be, different size. It's not going to be possibly exactly the same color since, it is rendered by them rather than, Diamond Art Club, of course. But the painting is going to be the same, the rendering. It's just that, the colors are going to be different. And it could be, slightly different even on the rendering. But this one definitely is a fun one to do. Not sure where in the world I'm going to put it whenever I am finished. I haven't gotten that far yet on where to put it. I don't know if I'm going to frame it or not. It would be a huge frame. But I kind of hate not to frame it, all the hard work that I've put into this. I think this is even larger than my portfolio. If that's the case, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with it. I am just not sure. Do you frame all of yours that you complete, or you just frame some of them? There are some that I definitely want to frame. I know that I'm going to, and I knew that I was going to before I even started on them, but then when I start, it's like I definitely have to frame this. But this one, I just hadn't really... It hasn't really hit me that I just have to frame it. But I probably will change my mind on that front. We are now in between semesters at work. So I'm able to work from home until our summer semester kicks up. And they may have us work from home in the summer too. They haven't come out and said yet. So I don't know if I'm going to work from home or if I'm going to have to go in for 20 hours or so a week. But either way is fine with me. All of my classes for this summer are online. So I don't have any reason to go onto campus or into my office. We were still having virtual office hours. So everything's done via computer. I will have to go in definitely in the fall. I have classes that are on campus, which is nice because by the time that I get to the fall, it's been a while between the spring and the fall semester, and I'm missing going onto the campus and missing being in the classroom. So that will be nice. But it'll be nice in the summer if I can just stay home and work too. And the classes that I have, I've taught them before. I just need to work on getting some of my materials updated. I always do that for every semester. It's not just for the summer. I do it for every semester. I am changing colors like crazy. This is why it's taken so long on this one. And I never have my actual sections like this. And this is another thing that's slowing me down. I won't do this again either. I had an end in mind whenever I set it up that way. And it just didn't work out for me. So at least I know what works and what doesn't at this point. And I'll definitely section it off like I normally do on my next one. I went to Target today and I haven't been shopping in forever. And I just walked around and was just looking. And I was really good. I didn't buy that much. Normally if I go to Target and I'm looking around, I always find quite a bit that I want for the house. Or just, different things. I didn't even go and look in their craft area because I would have found something. I'm sure. I always do. I did buy a small little lamp for our hall that we've been needing, and bought some dog food, which they have to have small bites dog food, and that's getting more and more difficult to find. So I had to get that. And then I got a couple things for my daughter that she needed. Some facial stuff and that kind of thing. My oldest daughter went with us to the salon. We got our nails and pedicures done last Friday, and she brought me the most gorgeous little flower arrangement, and I was really surprised. That was for Mother's Day. She was a little late, but she was working on Mother's Day, so we didn't get to see her. And they still are pretty, and it's been almost a week. They're still really pretty. And she used her own money, so I was really pleased. It made me very happy. And hopefully when I get back, we'll be able to go to dinner one night or lunch, depending on what her schedule's like. She's still loving her new car, well, new to her. And I'm glad that she has found a car that's reliable. She hasn't had any issues. I shouldn't say that because she probably will when I'm out, when I'm gone out of town. Kind of luck we have around here with cars. And then my youngest daughter will be getting out of school not next week. Well, actually, she will next week get out of school, but she has to go half days Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and she really isn't supposed to because she doesn't have testing. She graduated in 2020, but because she's in this transition program and she decided to do online this year or this last semester, they have high school students in there, and then they have seniors that are graduating, and then they have 2 kids, I should say young adults, that have already graduated, and they're just in the online program. And because of that, her teacher says that she still has to go until next week and go half days, but the seniors that are graduating, they're able to have their last day as this Friday. And so she is all up in arms about that. And, I really can't blame her because she was able to graduate. She graduated when she was supposed to graduate. I can't tell if this is a 3 or an S. She was supposed to, she did graduate, but because of the way that Georgia is, she cannot receive her diploma, even though she did extremely well in school, until she is 22, because she had a modified curriculum and she worked just as hard as other kids that were in mainstream classes, but because she wasn't mainstream, they feel like that she has to go to school longer. So once she's gotten, she didn't get a diploma, she's gotten something saying that she finished up through 12th, and they call it socialization. And so she does have the certificate. And in all respects, she went through graduation, she did the cap and gown. She didn't get to walk because it was a drive-through only because of COVID. But she has done all of that. But once she's 22, then that certificate will be turned in and it will become a full diploma. But I don't think that she should have to go to class when she is considered a senior on paper. But to me, it's 2.5 days, 3 days that she has to go a little bit longer, and it's only until 11:30, and it's online. So I don't really see a problem, but she is just not happy. And then she found out that her friends that are in transition in her old class that she was in, they're getting out on the 20th, this Friday. So that's not helped. We don't have any plans for the summer, so I don't know why that she just wants to get out so fast. And she enjoys school, but I think, there comes a point where, every kid and even, adults get tired of school and, they need a break. I mean, even we do that with our jobs. At least I always had that, you have to have a break sometime. So once she does get out of class for the summer, she plans on reading, and then she doesn't go to summer school. That's one thing that's offered to us if we wanted her to go, but she doesn't need to go. And so we do continue, though, with classes. We just do like some writing that she'll do during the throughout the week. And then we do a little bit of math so she doesn't forget some things, but mainly reading. She just loves to read, and she likes manga, which I don't. I've tried. I really wanted to. My oldest daughter enjoys reading manga, but to me, you're reading a comic book, and I never enjoyed that. So it just doesn't do much for me. But they both like it, and so that's what they'll be doing this summer while I'm working. And then I also plan on reading more. My reading has been horrible for the past really couple of years. I used to read so many books every year. I mean, I would read sometimes 200 books a year, and now it's like I'm just not reading hardly at all. So and I have several books. I'm a Book of the Month member, and I can go to our library on campus. I can go to our public library. I buy books, and I'm buying them, and they sound really enjoyable, but I just don't want to sit down and read a book. But I am going to also start listening to Audible more, and that will get me going, I think. I hope anyway, but I'm getting to where I'm diamond painting more than I'm doing anything else, and I've got to get back to making my cards as well, because I need to get those done for church and then also for cards for soldiers. I hope that you enjoyed this part of my WIP and Chat. I am going to have the rest of the WIP and Chat, approximately 20 minutes. That's going to be just quiet time, is what I like to call it, where it's just light music, and then I'll be diamond painting, and then if you'd like to diamond paint as well, and then I will come on at the end, and I will wish everyone a happy weekend. But until then, if you'd like to continue working on your WIP, then please do so. I'll be right back, guys. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the section where it was just working and music, or if you did not like that. I am just really curious. I have seen others do this, but I have not tried it myself. Also, I have seen others to where they are having possibly start to finishes, or even they're having some of their kitting up or kitting down, and they are making it faster. And they're also just showing that on their channel. I'm not sure if I would be very good at that or not, with just not talking and just going and doing the motions, which I enjoy watching, but I'm not sure how I would feel about doing that. But I'm really curious what you all are enjoying, what you would like to see, because I really am so appreciative of all of you. And I know that it may sound like I'm just saying that, but I'm really not. I am truly being genuine, that I am so appreciative for this entire diamond painting community, as well as everyone that I have met that's getting interested in diamond painting, that are responding to different comments, or you're just listening. And I do appreciate that so much. I hope that you have a really nice weekend and that you have time to spend for yourself, however that might look like. And until next time, have a great day and keep on diamond painting. See you next time.